So today is, I believe, day 208. And I wanted to talk about this because, so I was on a mastermind call with these amazing ladies and something got brought up, but it's like the second time it's been brought up. Like, I spoke about it with my friend the other week as well when we went on the hike. And the topic is, at what point do you know, like, kind of like, okay, wait, give me a second. This was all in my head, and now I'm trying to, like, say it, and it's not coming out. So basically, a topic is that I want to talk about is, this is like very common thing that pops up for entrepreneurs, but it also can pop up for anybody. And it's like, at what point, do you keep going? And at what point do you stop? At what point do you pivot? And this is a very interesting topic because when we are building a business, like, there are some businesses that people like went and quit their 9-to-5 and then went all in their business, and it just like skyrocketed, and amazing for those humans. But then there's others, such as me, that it didn't happen that way. Went all in, like, the money didn't come right away, the clients didn't come right away. There was a lot of learning, a lot of growth, a lot of inner healing to be done. And through this journey, there's been moments where I wanted to throw in the towel. There's been moments where I wanted to give up. But there was this part of me of just keep going no matter what. And, even in those moments, I thought, like, at what point do I keep going? At what point do I pivot? Do I shift? Do I change careers? And it's really interesting when we ask ourselves those questions, and it's mostly in places when we are in a low place in our lives. I know this question got brought up when I was looking for housing in Tofino, and I was like on month 4, literally, of not having a home. And I was wondering, like, okay, like, at what point do I keep going? Do I stay here? Like, or is this really a sign for me to go? And so it is so interesting, these moments that come up for us. And I think that there's no right or wrong answer as to how to navigate this. I don't think that there's like a very clear, like, bullet point, like, process on how to do this. But I think it really does go back to you as an individual, trusting your intuition, and then going back to your why and seeing if you still resonated. Like, why did you start that business? Like, why did you move to that place? And does that still resonate in this very moment? Does it still light you up? Does it still give you something? Even if you feel like you're in a place of, like, everything feels like shit, does it still give you that little something that you're like, oh, like, there's still something there. You just don't know what. Because sometimes when we are in that fog, when things aren't clear, when we don't know what path we're taking, when we don't know where we're going, it can be uncomfortable. And, we can get really stuck in our minds, get stuck in those, ideas, and in our limiting beliefs, and in our shadow. And so it really is going back to, your why. And if there is something somewhere along those lines of what you are doing now, that's still somewhere, that there's still a spark, that there's still a something. And, like, I know as a Scorpio, like, I am super resilient and also stubborn. My stubbornness is, like, basically what got me through these past, like, 2 years of, like, 5 years of building my business, but the past 2 years of going in full time. And the like, no, like this is what I know. Like I remember even telling my sister back in January, like in the car, I'm like, no, this is what I want to do. Like I'm not giving up. Like I refuse to give up because I've come this far, and it's like it's not happening. Even though in that moment it felt like it wasn't working, I had no money coming in whatsoever. And so my stubbornness got me to that place, and got me here. But I also know not everybody has that. And so it is like kind of, but I do know that we all are resilient in some level, no matter what. And so intuitively, you do know there is a point intuitively that you know that something needs to change. And it may not make sense, but intuitively you know. If you feel like your intuition is unclear, then obviously this is where I recommend meditation and like taking time for yourself. But then again, like each human design type is different. So like navigating these moments, like if you are a Mani-Gen or generator, you may want to go like play and have fun and do things that light your sacral up. Like your sacral is like your gut is just like screaming yes, like yes, I want to do this. And we are in a society that we've been conditioned to like do so that we can see the outcome, but that's not the case at all. And it doesn't mean you need to do in your business like to keep going. You can just go and have fun and play and like do things that light you up, that feel good, and your business will be okay. The money is going to make its way to you. It's when you are in that place of like frustration, anger, bitterness, disappointment, it's more difficult, and it's like a sense of forcing, you know, where you are like this rock bottom of your business. So it's interesting. And I know like even projectors, so projectors, like you would rest, chill, go play as well, but do something different. Take your mind off of like your business, take your mind off of finding a home, take your mind off of like those things. And it's not bypassing by doing that. It's just like kind of shifting the focus for a second and then going back into it. And if the low emotions do come up, sit with them. And it's so uncomfortable to sit with them, but like legit sit with them and journal out and be like, you know, like, what are you feeling? And why are you feeling what you're feeling? Like, why do you feel like, you know, like about to throw the towel with your business? Like, why is that coming up? And I feel like that does come up a lot with a lot of entrepreneurs I know, especially in the coaching business, because I think also like sometimes like we in the coaching business, we even like any other entrepreneur, we can really find ourselves like in that comparison mode and looking at what other coaches are doing and them like kind of like celebrating their numbers, and they're like, oh, this month I made 10K, 20K. And then it's like as amazing as that is, and I'm, you know, like we're all like super happy. Sometimes like if we're in that space of like throwing the towel, we're like, oh, fuck. And I get that. And I've been there too. So it is definitely honoring the emotions, the low emotions, and seeing what is showing us. Sitting in the shadow the gift is gonna show up. Also, my brain is like, my brain wants to say something else, and it's like, went away. Anyways, I don't remember. Maybe it was important. Patience. So I'm not one to be patient, but I did work on patience, and definitely coming at a different angle right now. But patience and looking at the things that are working. Again, like right now, it's like, ooh, I got 10 views on YouTube. Like, to me, that's huge. I'm like, holy shit. Like, before it was like 1, 2, none. And I'm like, ooh, these videos I'm getting like 10, 12 views. I'm like, oh, okay, people are watching my stuff. That's kind of cool. And so it's the small things. And once you like start celebrating those small things, like the small, like, ooh, you know, you got 5 likes on a photo, you got, you know, 10 views in a video. Someone's watching you and someone's paying attention to what you're saying. Same thing with housing, like as another example. Is celebrating the wins. Like I used to celebrate the fact that I would get a lead, even though that lead went nowhere, didn't end up getting a home, or that home went to somebody else. I still celebrated the lead. I still celebrated that I got something versus nothing. And I still celebrated the fact that I had like friends offer me their couches. I celebrated the fact that I had a cat sitting opportunity. So it may not have been at my forever home, but I still celebrated those things. And I think that is really important in those moments where you feel like you're second guessing your entire life. You're second guessing your career, you're second guessing your move, you're second guessing where you're living, you're second guessing the decision you made. Anchoring in to the things at work and the things that, like, you know, celebrating the things is going to get you like kind of one step out of that space, one step out. It's energetically, it's going to create a little shift. And there are going to be days where everything feels like shit, and honor that, honor yourself, honor that, hold space for it. Go see your inner child, see how they're doing, honor it all. And so, yeah, I don't know, that was like a little ramble of something I want to talk about today. So hope you enjoyed this. And I don't fall. Okay, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.